In 2014, Shabazz Napier, AAC Player of the Year, First Team All-American, and the Bob Couse Point Guard of the Year, led the Connecticut Huskies to an NCAA Men's Basketball National Championship. With 27 million people watching worldwide, Shabazz dominated from start to finish. He finished with 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. A year later, largely as a result of that victory and stellar season, Huskies head coach Kailan Lee landed a 5-year, $15 million contract, television networks and advertisement companies made millions, $500 tickets were sold to thousands of fans, and the University of Connecticut received a whopping $9.6 million in revenue for the year. But what did that mean for the players? Not much. While it seemed that everyone around them profited, Shabazz and his teammates received nothing, went back to school, and proceeded to carry out their regular routine as student-athletes on campus. According to Sports Illustrated, as the confetti rained down from above, Napier knelt down and put his forehead to the court for a long while after the buzzer sounded. He was wiping back tears. What appeared to be tears of joy could have very well been tears resulting from the endless struggles as a student-athlete at the University of Connecticut. In an interview conducted by Fox Sports directly after the national championship game, Shabazz Napier said something striking.
That's kind of great. Good for them. At the end of the day, to certain points, we as student athletes, get utilized for what we do so well, and we definitely, we're definitely best to get a scholarship to our universities. But at the end of the day, that doesn't cover everything. We do have hungry nights that we don't have enough money to get food, and sometimes, needed money is needed. But I don't think sometimes, like I said, there's hungry nights where I'm not able to eat, and but I still got to play up to my capabilities, and sometimes it's that way. I don't see myself as so much of an employee, but when you see your jersey getting sold, it may not have your last name on it, but when you see a jersey getting sold, things like that, to some credit, you feel like you want something in return.
Watching from the stands or from their living rooms, fans may not have realized that Shabazz was going through something like this while coaches and others were making millions of dollars from their performance. College athletes deserve compensation for their play because they bring in revenue for both the school and the NCAA, and because of the hours they spend playing their sport. Although Shabazz Napier is playing collegiate basketball at the Division I level, as student athletes at Phillips Academy Andover, we can relate to the difficulties of balancing sports, schoolwork, and social life. I spend about 2 to 3 hours 5 times a week either on the court or in the weight room, working to become a better basketball player. Still, I have enough time to get work done and get enough rest. Furthermore, at Andover, there are so many healthy food options to replenish myself after a workout and get a healthy meal. For college athletes, this is not the case. According to Peter Jacobs of Business Insider, collegiate student athletes spend 5.6 hours a day for 7 days a week practicing during the season. Unlike athletes at Andover, college athletes have stricter meal plans which often leave them without a sufficient amount of food to eat given the amount of calories that they burn while practicing and playing their sports. CBS News reports that college students who are employed work an average of 10 to 15 hours a week. While college students working a job have the opportunity to provide for their basic needs, the demand on college athletes' time precludes that opportunity. It's not that college athletes aren't working to generate income. In fact, college athletes do work more than double the amount of hours in the weight room, doing conditioning, or playing the game than the average employed college student spends working at a job, yet they are not receiving any pay for their efforts. Where is that money going? Money is going to coaches' salaries, facilities, and companies that profit from jersey sales. Don't people whose labor brings in revenue deserve compensation for their work? Some would say that a scholarship is in itself a form of payment because college is expensive and athletes are going to college for free. But according to economics correspondent Paul Soman, studies have shown that the gap between the value of a scholarship and what a student truly needs is steadily increasing. Another argument that people commonly make against compensation is that paying college athletes would make them employees and not students. In a post-game interview by Sports News directly after the Super Bowl, Richard Sherman, the former cornerback for Stanford University and current cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks, may be suggesting that compensating college athletes would not undermine the importance of education because they are essentially treated as employees already.
Great question. I really appreciate that question. No, I don't think college athletes are given enough time to really take advantage of of the free education that they're given, and it's frustrating because a lot of people say, get upset with student athletes and say that they're not focused on school and they're not taking advantage of the opportunity they're given. I would love for a regular student to have a student athlete schedule during the season for just one quarter or one semester, and show me how you balance that. Show me how you would schedule your classes when you can't schedule classes from 2 to 6 o'clock on any given day. Show me how you're gonna get all your work done when after you get out at 7:30 or so, you got a test the next day, you're dead tired from practice, and you still have to study just as hard as everybody else every day and get all the same work done. Most of these kids are done with school, done with class by 3 o'clock. You got the rest of the day to do as you please, and you're sitting here, you may, excuse me, you may spend a few hours studying, then you may spend a few hours at the library checking out books and just doing casual reading. Then you may go hang out with friends and have a coffee. When you're a student athlete, you don't have that kind of time. You wake up in the morning, you have weights at this time. Then after weights, you go to class, and after class, you go maybe try to grab you a quick bite to eat. And then after you get your quick bite to eat, you go straight to meetings. And after meetings, you got practice. And after practice, you got to try to get all the work done you had throughout the day. You got from your lectures and from your focus groups. And those aren't the things that people focus on when talking about student athletes. They're upset when a student athlete says they need a little cash. Well, I can tell you from experience, I had negative $40 in my account, and usually my account was in a negative more times than it was in a positive. You got to make decisions on whether you get gas for your car or whether you get the meal for the day. You got one of the two choices. And people think, oh, you're on scholarship. They pay for your room and board, they pay for your education, but to their knowledge, you're there to play football. You're not on scholarship for school. And it sounds crazy when a student athlete says that, but those are the things coaches tell them.
The definition of an employee under common law is work for another person under a contract of hire who is under their control in return for payment or compensation. College athletes are under the contract of a scholarship, the control of a coach, and are working on average 39.2 hours a week, according to Business Insider. Yet, as weeks go by, these athletes get nothing in return. Student athletes bring in millions of dollars of revenue for their school and the NCAA and deserve to be compensated for their work.